Hi, Yasmine. We are joined today by the SVP Head of Finance Operations at Faropoint. So, Yasmine, for anybody that hasn't met you before, please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Yasmine. I'm currently living in New York and am originally from Los Angeles.
Amazing. And we were trying to figure out how it was that we first met. We couldn't really put our finger on it. It may have been real calm. It may have just been through the LinkedIn bubble. But I'm glad that we did meet because you have such an interesting background. You did a degree in business management and have kind of moved through accounting and into software and prop tech ever since. So tell us a bit more about how you kind of fell into the prop tech space.
Yeah, I think, it was a bit organic and natural. I've always liked business in general and how business works, or the operations of it. And originally started just doing a little bit of accounting work and got to roll out a few systems at the beginning of my career and continued to learn more and more software and just saw the beauty of really connecting with pure tech folks and giving our feedback as users and as business owners and how we can make that whole process better for all users.
And shout out to our mutual friend David Stifter. I think he had something to do with that journey somewhere along the lines as
Absolutely,
well. So
without knowing so.
yeah,
Yeah.
we love that. And so in terms of where that's brought you now, you're at Faropoint. For anybody that hasn't heard of Faropoint, what is it that you guys are tackling in industry at the moment?
Uh, so Fairpoint was founded in 2012, and it's a vertically integrated industrial investment management firm. We also do a few ground up constructions. That's actually an area of our business that's growing. And then we also have a debt platform. So that's what's exciting about Fairpoint is that we're always expanding our businesses and our departments.
I guess going through accounting, you were probably used to being in a minority as a woman in that field, even more so in prop tech. I think we're still only about 30% of the workforce in prop tech even now. But when we were talking about like advice that you'd have for people that wanted to move into the prop tech space, particularly as a woman, you said that it's always going to aid you to be creative, be invested and interested in improving processes around you and kind of make that a space for yourself in a business. So I'm keen to hear a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I think it's just not to be afraid. I think as accountants, naturally, or sometimes even as women, we're very careful and, just kind of stay in the safe space. I think it's just being open and working with a tech person and saying, this is how I envision it. How can we get there? Maybe the system isn't built for it exactly, but there are always creative ways in getting that final product that you want, or at least 99% of the way there. I think there is so much that you can accomplish by really partnering together
Yeah.
with a tech person. And I think that's sometimes the missing point, honestly. In a lot of companies, usually it's just the tech person rolling it out without
Yeah.
a business owner's perspective or input. And I think that's what's been really great at Fairpoint here is that I do work very hands-on with our IT and our project team in finding the right software, finding what problems we're trying to solve for, or what our needs are that we're trying to solve for, and then rolling it out in a very thoughtful way and making sure that we're getting the most out of the system.
Exactly. And it goes back to what you were saying about sometimes if you fall under that accountancy umbrella or whatever umbrella it might be that makes people feel a little bit more limited in their career for getting out there. A changing point for you was when you started going to conferences and kind of breaking out of the accounting box and I guess exploring more of the SaaS industry around you. So I guess for anybody watching this who is always needing a familiar face, a friendly face on the conference circuit. You will be at the Yardi Executive Summit. I think that's in San Diego. And
Correct.
then you're usually at Inman once or twice a year as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct. Yes. And just like you said, I always said no to speaking panels. And this year I've been saying yes to anything that comes my way. So it's been, great for me to also push myself out of my comfort zone. And it's, made this connection also possible. So
If you say
yeah,
yes, you might trip and fall and end up on somebody's podcast. And yeah,
yes.
now you're all over LinkedIn. So look, I'm glad that we made the connection, even though we can't really remember how in the first place. But I know it will be one that lasts. I will see you next time I'm in New York, which is in October. And if anybody has any questions for Yasmine, safe space here, feel free to reach out and yeah, keep them connected in PropTech.